Hello and welcome to your Empowered Astrology Forecast with yours truly, Sarah McCallum, the Cosmic Finder. And this is for the week of September the 18th, 2023. All right, everyone. So this week, the moon will be waxing or gaining in light. You yourself may feel a little bit more extroverted. You may feel a little bit more emotionally expressive as the moon is beginning to reveal itself to us in the sky. The moon will shift from Scorpio into Sagittarius, into Capricorn, and finally into Aquarius over the course of this week. While the moon is in Scorpio, really tap into your healing practices, tap into transformative action, and work with the element of water, whether that be through a bath or walking alongside a lake. It's really important to interact with water while the moon is in a water sign. When it shifts into Sagittarius, this is very much about our truth-seeking capabilities, our sense of idealism, and expanding not only the mind, but also exploring the world around us. So movement can be really important when the moon is in a fire sign. When the moon shifts into Capricorn, this is very much about stabilizing and tapping into our sense of foundation, whether that be our physical body or the foundation of our business or our family or our home. So it is important to work with what is factual, what is realistic, while the moon is in an earth sign. And when the moon shifts into Aquarius, this may be a time to innovate, but it also may be a time to rebel. And when the moon is in an air sign, it's a great time to tap into breath work practices as well. All right, so we will collectively experience the autumnal equinox this week. And it is going to happen very late on the 22nd for those of us in the Pacific coast of America, maybe earlier in the 23rd for those of you in other areas of the world. But this is going to be a time where we shift out of Virgo and into Libra. In terms of the sun, so the way in which we radiate our light, the way in which we tap into our purpose collectively, maybe through relationship, maybe through harmony and balance, maybe through social justice, tapping into what is fair. And, this is also so much about what we find beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. This may be a great time to go to the museum or see a movie and really begin to enjoy the sensual aspect of life and your relationships. As we move out of Virgo, which we spent Virgo season mainly with Mercury retrograde in Virgo as well, there was so much around refinement and analyzing and details. And so now it's just really about allowing that all to settle and being present for the experience that is life and the beauty that is life. And that is so much, what Libra is here to teach all of us. So this week on the 22nd, while we collectively welcome in the Libra season, we are also going to be having a first quarter moon in Sagittarius, and this may feel very much like a prime time for decisive action. We may also feel a little bit impatient. So be mindful of that energy kind of layered upon the autumnal equinox as well. And we will also be celebrating the beginning of Mabon this week. So there's just a lot of shifts and a lot of new beginnings. And I think that that's going to feel really yummy now that Mercury is direct. Granted, it's still in its post-retrograde shadow period, but things should start to feel a bit more balanced. All right, now on the 19th of September, there will be an opposition between the Sun and Neptune, which can create a bit of disillusionment, especially in regards to the ego, how we see ourselves, but also the way in which we view reality, it's important to ground and tap into your meditation practices and really step outside of the ego and allow this opposition to perhaps help to dissolve the ego in a way that feels healthy and necessary in your healing process. And then on the 23rd of September, once we are all the way in Libra season, there will be a trine between Venus and Chiron. So this can feel like we really need to tap into our ability to let things flow, to allow ourselves to surrender to whatever it is that Chiron is pointing out that we need to heal from, wherever our wounds are. And also, these wounds may have something to do with worthiness because this involves Venus. At the end of the week on Sunday, another aspect involving Chiron, this will be an opposition between Mars and Chiron. So this can be like a push-pull around aggression and surrender, around your sense of drive and your need to heal. There's very much like a sacred warrior energy to this aspect. And so take from that what you will. Okay, lean into that in a way that you're understanding it is an opposition. So that always does feel like a little bit of tug of war. And, again, with Chiron, there may be some really beautiful opportunities to just like allow yourself to settle into the awareness around your wounding and like deeply loving yourself through that process, trying to tame some of that Martian energy with movement, with dance, with sport, so that you don't feel overly aggressive or driven. And then lastly, I did pull a card out of the Shaman's Dream Oracle for anyone tuning into the Empowered Astrology forecast this week. And the card that came through is entitled Watchers. It is a card about the transpersonal experience. And you know what? It's such a beautiful card for this week with some of those aspects to Chiron, but also are shifting into Libra season, because it's really just about allowing things to unfold, understanding that you don't have to be constantly in control of everything. You don't always have to have a plan. You don't always have to have your schedule set in stone. That you know what? Things will unfold in divine timing, in Kairos time. And there's such a beauty in witnessing that process rather than forcing or trying to control that process. So play around with that this week. Allow yourself to just let go, even if it's just a little bit. Allow yourself to just turn inward. Allow yourself to relax into that sense of ease and balance and harmony, and trust in the process. I wish you all a wonderful beginning to Libra season, a beautiful start to Mabon, and I will be on to talk with you again soon.